This weekend, the UFC is back in good old Mexico in one of the most chalky cards in UFC history. I've run the numbers, done the tape and research, and everything points to one bet. This is my most safest bet for this weekend's UFC card. Welcome to Lucrative Hammer of the Week.
We're getting smoked, man. Yada Del Vel, I thought he was gonna kill Jordan Leavitt. I thought Jordan Leavitt would gas out. He didn't gas out. It happens. Happens in the game, boys. Bad bet by me. Hammer of the Week moves to 10 and 4. Max bet moves to 46 and 6. Happens, man.
What's going on, lads? Welcome back to Hammer of the Week, where I tell you the best betting spot on the entire UFC fight card. And this week, we are back in good old Mexico City. Crazy elevation, as I mentioned on my breakdown prediction video. We're at a massive elevation, so these fighters may get tired. We may see some weird stuff. And for the main event of the fight card, we have my favorite division, flyweights. Brandon Moreno is taking on up-and-comer Lona Kavanagh in a short notice replacement bout. We have Marlon Vera on the card against Mexico's own David Martinez. We also have Daniel Zellhuber, King Bobby Green, Edgar Chairez, Felipe Bunez. I mean, a bunch of pretty cool, high-ish level, lower weight class fights, which always produce some exciting bouts. I've been betting on MMA for so long, and I've actually never seen a fight card like this. I think this is the chalkiest fight card in UFC history. There has never been so many massive favorites. We have multiple -6 and 700s on the card. It looks like a boxing card. There is only one fighter that is better than -230. Only one. But you know we're still going to try and extract some value from this card. So I'm very much excited for it, but more excited to get into this video. If you don't know what this video is, it's where I give you the best betting spot on the entire card, or the spot with the most value, or just a bet that I want to give out. And I do this every single week on my YouTube channel, without fail, trying to put money in your pocket. Because of that, I would appreciate if you do me a favor and go and click the subscribe button. It's the easy and free way to show me that you appreciate the videos I make every single week. Before we get into this week's Hammer of the Week, we have to address last week's Hammer of the Week. Boys, it was the biggest L in Hammer of the Week history, meaning that it was the worst bet I've placed on this series, Hammer of the Week. We're currently 10 wins and 4 losses. That's 14 bets, and out of the 14 bets, by far, the worst Hammer of the Week was last week, man. I thought Yada Del Vel was going to steam through Jordan Leavitt. I thought that in round 1, he could lose round 1. That's what I said, but I thought Jordan would easily gas out. I've seen him gas out grappling as hard as he did so many times, but honestly, Del Vel just provided no resistance, little to no resistance. I was so surprised at that one, boys. We have to own that L. That was a bad one, but we're going to come back this week and smash them just like we've done on 10 of the previous weeks. Unfortunately, we cannot win them all, boys. But this is sports betting. I've been sports betting for 15 years and consistently for 10 years every single week. And it has afforded me the lifestyle of my dreams. But unfortunately, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes you take L's, sometimes you take big L's. And after not losing a single month in the last 6, we end in February on a bit of a bad note. But February is not over yet. And this card is on the last day of February, the 28th. So I'm looking to end the month in style. So unlike the usual method of transport, the private jet or the Ferrari or the Aston Martin, we took an L last week. So we're going to have to go to Mexico and make our way there on something a little bit poorer. Let's look at this week's Hammer of the Week. Yo, slow down. Guys, I lost my car. Can you give me a ride, please? Damn, boys, that Hammer of the Week last week was not the one. But it's time to get back on the horse. Winners never quit. Quitters never win. Let's get it. Here we are. It's time to get to Mexico now. The bookies are not getting away with this one. Hola, hola. Muchos gracias, mi amigos. Let's get these pesos. There it is, lads. It is Santiago Luna at odds of -450. And I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm betting on Santiago Luna this weekend and why I think he's one of the best betting spots on the entire card. Like I said, boys, there is only one fighter with a better price tag than -230. That's Ailin Perez at -185. Every other fighter is -230, -300, -600, -700. So it's not easy to pick one. And just because it's -450 doesn't automatically mean they're going to win. Last week, we lost on Yada Del Vel at odds of -380. The week before that, we won on Jakub Wiklac's doesn't go to decision at odds of +105. So our +105 bet hit, but our -380 bet didn't hit. And this week, they're not giving us much room to work with. But I am going to go with Santiago Luna. Santiago Luna, boys, is one of the best prospects in the division, in my opinion. I mean, he is such an elite prospect. So young, clear improvements fight to fight. I actually bet on him in his debut at a very good line, around minus 135 odds, when he took on Quang Lee and he knocked him out in round 1. I actually predicted it to be like maybe a back and forth decision, or Santiago's going to destroy him in round 1. And it was the latter there. Santiago is now developing his striking, as we've seen in that fight. He's still wide open to be hit, and I think someone can crack him and hurt him. But I think he's got great recoverability, decent durability. It's just that he gets hit a lot. I don't think he's got a bad chin. I just think he gets hit a lot. And he actually has an elite physicality, athleticism, and wrestling skill set to put to use in some of these fights. In some of these fights, he doesn't even put them to use because he's getting more comfortable with his striking now. So I really think Santiago Luna is not only going to win this fight, but he's going to win multiple fights in the UFC, maybe even crack the top 15, maybe even the top 10, top 5. I think that is where his potential is. So I'm very excited to see him take on Angel Pacheco. If we talk about his opponent, boys, I mean, just go and watch tape on his opponent. In my opinion, his opponent is the lighter weight class Jose Medina. He's a bit more skilled than Jose Medina. But what I mean by that is someone who got signed off a loss from Dana White's Contender Series, because they both did. Someone who has not won a UFC fight or any fight under the UFC banner yet, but is still in the UFC. Someone who's also on this card, because they're both on this card. And someone who takes insane punishment, but actually rarely gets finished. So they are very, very similar to me, 4 extreme similarities from Jose Medina and Angel Pacheco. I mean, Angel Pacheco should have been knocked out multiple times in his UFC stint. I've seen him dropped in round 1 multiple times. In his last fight, he got hurt so badly within like the first 30 seconds, I want to say. And he managed to survive to a decision. If you guys remember, he fought Danny Silva on Dana White's Contender Series and actually got signed off a loss because they both landed over 200 significant strikes. But what that tells me is that you're pretty durable. You can go to decision, although that was close to being finished. He was close to being finished there. But also, you're a punching bag and you've got good cardio and you can land a lot of strikes, right? I think that's not a good style against someone like Santiago Luna, because I think Santiago Luna has a good gas tank. I think he's improving from fight to fight. I think he can get easy grappling success in this fight. And I also think he has a power advantage. And I don't want to say durability advantage because he's so durable, Pacheco, but who's more likely to win by knockout? Luna, easily. So then, he wins the durability war, whether he has a durability advantage or not, because he's way more dangerous. That makes him win the knockout war. I just don't think that's a good style to have against Santiago Luna, someone who needs to get his opponent gassed to win the fight. Someone who can be taken down. Someone who gets hit and hurt and wobbled in every fight where he fights someone competent. It's just not a good style to have. I think Santiago Luna is going to show out here. I don't know whether he gets a finish. I want to say he will. I think he will, just because he's so aggressive and I'm predicting him to do it. But I'm not going to lie, Pacheco is extremely tough. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a 30-27 decision. I'm actually very confident that Luna drops and hurts Pacheco in this fight. Does he convert it into a knockout? I don't know. That's always harder to predict. It's much easier to predict someone getting hurt and getting knocked down to actually outright predicting them getting knocked out, because that's a whole different conversation in and of itself. But I do think it's going to happen. But ultimately, boys, that's Hammer of the Week, and that's why I'm picking it. I think this is a mismatch. So, boys, we're going to get into a section called Ladder the Hammer now, where I give you some props to add on to our main play on Santiago Luna, because minus 450, we want a bit more juice than that, minus 450. Well, we want less juice than that. We want it to be a bit more of a juicy bet. We want more. We want some plus money if we can get it. We want some at least close to pick 'em odds. We don't really love the minus 450, but the UFC card isn't giving us much to work with this weekend. So I'm going to get into this Ladder the Hammer section in just a minute, where I give you some props to add on to our main money line play. Before we get into that, I want you to comment down below your Hammer of the Week this week. And if you do well, I'm going to shout you out on next week's episode. So take a look at some of these Hammer of the Weeks that were posted on my video last week. Congratulations to these guys. Where's None Music says, I got a hammer to my balls, never betting again after that awful Del Valle choke. Man, it's a tough one to take. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to take the tough ones if you're going to make it in this game. So if you're never betting again, sayonara. I'm sad that was your last bet, but maybe you'll be back. Damn, boys, looking through the comments now. Damn, the comments are harsh. I win for 6 months in a row. No losses. And then we have a big loss. And I get these comments. I mean, that's the game. And that's why most people will never make it in sports betting, because they can't take a loss. And that's just a fact of the matter. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I own up to all of my losses, boys. Most social media sports bettors go hiding, but I've been in the game for 10 years. A L means nothing to me. A big L means nothing to me. I'm going to continue to bet. Artina Varney saying, you just make me kind of bankrupt. Brother, you need to not bet all of your money on one bet. This is what I'm going to say as well, boys. Remember, I make like 15 plus bets per week, so don't rely on the hammer of the week. If I can give anyone advice, it would be to go for a bankroll staking strategy, right? What that means is put a percentage of your money on each singular bet, not all of your money on one bet. Like 2% or 3% on each specific bet. That's going to allow you to withstand the inevitable losses that will come from sports betting. So you don't want to be placing all your money on one bet. I know this is extremely beginner advice, but obviously some people like this guy, I mean, it could be a bullshit comment, but you get what I'm trying to say. Some people do actually believe that. So I just wanted to address that, boys. I'm always trying to give out as much sports betting advice as possible based on my own experiences. And you definitely want to be employing a bankroll staking strategy rather than just placing all your money on one bet. I want to shout out the random thing saying my hammer of the week is going to be Jocelyn Edwards ITD. She got robbed in their first fight and she's been on a finish streak. I think she'll show levels. That was a crazy stoppage. It was like a knockout and a submission in the same fight, which is kind of mad. Imagine you bet KO like that. That was one of the worst beats I've ever seen. But you didn't. You bet ITD. So congratulations, bro. Great bet. Knuckles saying Jocelyn Edwards laddered the finish as well. That's a good one. Leslie saying my hammer hit 2 times and I never got the shout out. I'm sorry. It's hard to read through all these comments. I got a lot of comments, especially after a loss. But if you keep winning, I definitely will notice your comment. We got the Jenk saying Lebosniani via decision is mine. That's a solid one, bro. Congratulations. Frantic saying I didn't miss on Rizvan Kuneyev moneyline and I'm not missing on Sean Strickland moneyline, bro. Shout out. That is an epic one, man. We got Adam Ryder saying Jackamie Smith round 2 KO. He got it in round 1. But that was still a great pick, bro. I mean, he was a big favorite, but yeah, congratulations there. There was a bunch of other hammers. If I didn't get to it, sorry, boys. As I said, there's a lot of comments, but those were some bangers. So, boys, let's now move on to Ladder the Hammer section, where we add some props onto our main moneyline play. So, boys, like I said, the UFC not giving us much to play with because the odds are so cooked on most of the fights, basically every fight. But what I am going to do is go with Santiago Luna via KO at plus 145 odds. Like I said, man, Pacheco is a bit of a, what you would call punching bag, you know, someone who takes a lot of shots, someone who's almost been knocked out multiple times. And I think like it's a good opponent for Luna to hurt, honestly, early in the fight. So I'm going to predict KO. He could take him down and use his great wrestling and get a submission, but I don't think his top control is that good. I feel like Pacheco could probably scramble for a bit. Rear naked choke is always live, but I'm going to go with the KO at plus 145 odds, boys. So we're need to ladder that now. So they're not giving us much, right? But the next rung of our ladder, we're going to go Santiago Luna in round 1. Look, boys, I've seen Pacheco hurt in round 1 badly, not once, but twice. Also by Cowlin Lofran, of all people. Cowlin Lofran hurt him badly with the boxing. And I don't think Lofran is a great boxer. And I don't think he hits hard. And I don't think he hits nowhere near as hard as Luna or is nowhere near as explosive or athletic. So if Lofran can do it in terms of the KO, I think Luna can do it. And I feel like Luna would do it early just because he's the most explosive early. If you get past the first 7.5 minutes with Luna, you may last the decision just because he is a grinder, but I don't think he's like a crazy cardio machine that's going to be going nuts all 3 rounds. I think he can do it in this round, in this fight, because I think the skill level is above. But at the end of the day, boys, got to pick a round, and I'm going to pick round 1. Plus 200 odds for round 1. By the way, these odds I'm using Bet Online odds, which are the worst odds out there for props and stuff. So you can get much better odds when the market becomes widely available. But I'm trying to record this video early for you to give you as much time as possible in viewing it, so you can get your bets in, etc., etc. Santiago Luna round 1 at plus 200 is going to be on our 3rd rung of the ladder. Remember, these are just fun additions. They're not the hammers themselves. So if anything, we put more of our bankroll while still sticking to a percentage. Don't put all of your bankroll, like a lot of people apparently have done, on the main moneyline play. And then, you know, we sprinkle the other odds at plus money. Boys, if you want to get real access to my official bets, I'm up over 600 units in my lifetime, and I've made a living betting on sports. I've been online now for like 5-6 years, posting videos, posting content, posting bet slips, posting lifestyle content, showing you how much I have made from this game. If you want insider access to every single one of my bets, not just hammer of the week, not just one singular bet, or for one singular week or one event, you can sign up for a monthly package or long-term, yearly, lifetime, whatever you want to do. The link for that is sublaunch.com/lucrativemma. And outside of that, give a like and subscribe. And I hope that this week we're going to cash out on Santiago Luna. Good luck on your bets this week, boys. And I will catch you next week in the next video. Peace.